Japan, do we need to talk? This is Ashley with Watch Mojo, and today we're going to be counting down our picks for the top 10 weirdest things to ever get turned into anime.
Mutant Turtles. Wait, what? How did I know that Mutant Turtles
This
had
list,
an
we'll be
anime
looking
out?
at the series based on Western province.
I grew up on the Turtles. How did I not see that coming whatsoever? Like, seriously. How did I not know that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles actually had an anime? You know what? Cut the video. Cut. You know.
That are just confounding to behold. Who was asking for these to get the Japanimation treatment? As always, you can catch me on Twitter at AshJBo, so head over there, give me a follow, let me know which anime list you want to see next. Number 10, Lilo and Stitch. Stitch.
What?
Okay, in some backwards way, we can
Oh
see
my
this
gosh, I
working.
cannot believe
The
Lilo
original
Stitch got an
Disney
anime.
flick had already been turned into a dozen TV spin-offs, so why not let young Japanese audiences share in the magic of the blue fluffy alien spreading the word of aloha. With all 626 experiments in tow,
They go
Stitch's
plinkly.
antics could lend themselves to some Doraemon-esque
And
harmless fun.
Any
the
girlfriend of
big dude,
Stitch is considered eaten
Shababa.
but today.
I forgot his name already.
We're so
Dang it.
happy to have you.
There was, however, one glaring
Oh
issue.
my
The
gosh,
plot
I cannot
involved
believe Lilo and
Stitch
Stitch had
teaming up
an
with
anime.
a new girl on account that Lilo grew up, had a kid, and had no time for a former bestie. I'm sorry, what?
What?
It makes my one eye well up.
Number 9. Les Miserables. Les Miserables. Shoujo Quazette.
Oh, this is like a medieval time anime.
Apparently, if
Never
it's
actually
good
seen
enough
this
for
one before,
Broadway,
but it
it's
actually
good enough
looks
for
really
anime.
good.
While this sounds like it could be a disaster, the final product isn't actually all that terrible.
Huh.
Oh sure, there are no sweeping musicals, and the pain that the likes of Quazette and Fontaine suffer is monumentally dulled.
I'm still thinking back on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, even though we're talking about different anime as of right now. It's just still fact, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had an anime. I'm checking that out. Lilo and Stitch, that's interesting. But then in the anime is an ending catch story of what happened to Lilo, even though it was a animation version for like Disney Channel, where it led up to their final days, catching like all of his family members, his cousins that Stitch always mentioned. But the simple fact that Lilo grows up and have a kid of her own, and then Stitch is kind of like settling down now with the pink version of him. I knew Stitch had it in him, but it's just the fact that like I always wanted to like know like what actually will happen to like them after they are like completely done. Like the TV show, what's the one? Like back in the day, it was called 16. Another one was Proud Family. Another one was like a different parody of them, Rugrats, but they turned into teenagers, and then they actually had a TV show of them as teenagers, and that was pretty much it of their story. So it's like with Lilo and Stitch, it was like it was an eye opener because I was like, I really love Lilo and Stitch because they was always going back and forth on adventures, capturing his other like planktons, experiments, and all around the island, and they just discovered new things about each and every last one of them because it was about 626 of them. So that was a lot to actually try to discover and find out each individual differently and their perspective and their abilities. And now it's like I always want to know what happened with Lilo and Stitch. But that's amazing. Wow, I'm happy for them too. But this one now, this is kind of like a medieval time anime, which is kind of cool because it's like it gives me the idea of like Vikings, the witches, Curse, Game of Thrones, and it may have a lot of more narratives than the actual TV shows. Just like how the manga is, but I'm not an actual manga reader. I just hear a lot of things about the mangas. Like it has more specific details within the story than it is actually in the anime show. So it's vice versa. And then on top of that, it doesn't always add up as what the actual anime is because there are parts missing. And then since there are also parts missing, the anime manga stories actually have more specific details referencing the story, the TV show, and it may also be better than the TV show and also better than the story. So it's either or. So
down, but it's still a solid adaptation that doesn't feel like a parody, but more like an earnest effort to introduce the bulk of the iconic story to Japanese audiences. I mean, they put out 52 episodes. They really went the extra mile.
Aww.
Number 8, Supernatural.
Get outta
Supernatural,
here.
The animation.
Tell us. What
So
did you
is that
see?
Dean?
Perhaps the creators
That's
thought
Sam
with
and
the
Dean?
combined might of
Yeah.
Supernatural's
That's
fan
Sam.
base,
That's Dean
plus
in the
that
chair.
of otaku fangirls, they would be unstoppable. It just seems like a strange
Supernatural
combination
is
when you think
so
about it.
long.
And while they can get away with a bit more in the gore department, there really
How he just
isn't
run
anything
past?
new here.
Oh, I thought he.
You're a
Oh,
lot
I thought he
further
was a
in the
ghost.
show.
That's so funny.
Come on, give me a spark.
Newcomers aren't going to find anything especially
You know how
thrilling about
long
it, while the
Supernatural is?
unsolace hardcore Winchester
You know how long Supernatural is? Last time I watched Supernatural, they had a season up to 13. I'm nowhere near season 13. I'm like season 4. Like I actually a while back ago started to binge watch Supernatural, and then I just automatically stopped watching Supernatural because it's so long and there's so many episodes, and it's so much going on within Sam's adventure and Dee's adventure, and sometimes they adventure off, so it's always a different story between the two. So it's so long and based off of God, Hades, heaven, hell, all those people within Supernatural, and then legendary stories and mythical stories, and it's like I'm really gonna have to actually take the time to actually watch Supernatural because I used to watch it when I was younger. It was just that good when I was watching it when I was younger, but now that I'm actually older and it's like it's just so many things that's actually going on. I will actually sit down and actually watch it from the very beginning to the very end just to catch up, but I know it's gonna take some months. That's like trying to watch One Piece. And One Piece is like watching Naruto with a second version within Naruto. And Naruto is like 596. One Piece is like 989, almost up to 1,000. So, by the way, that's another thing I still gotta actually finish is One Piece and Hunter x Hunter. But I'm switching back off different topics because I was talking about Supernatural because how long the episodes and how long the seasons are. So that's on my spare time. But I can't believe that they actually have a anime version of Supernatural. That is just beyond my expectations to actually see them actually doing, because Supernatural is not even an anime version or animation in general. It's just based off of mysteries and crimes within the paranormal world, and to actually see that it has an anime version of itself too, that's dope.
followers are gonna get is that they got the boys to reprise their roles.
It's quite possible that the late Abigail Sullivan was treated with formalin.
I wonder if they actually have the actual character Sam and Dean voice the actual characters within the anime. That'd be crazy. That'd be dope if that actually is too. Okay, let's get rid of this.
Number
Let's get rid of
7,
that.
The Jungle Book. Jungle Book, Shonen Mowgli.
I just got done watching Mowgli, literally, like a few hours ago. I know it was a TV show for Jungle Book, but anime version. Alright, I'm done.
Hooray! 2 birds with 1 shot!
Jeez, Japan really was on a roll when it came to adapting these classic Western tales into bizarre, yet fundamentally decent anime. Rudyard Kipling's literary genius
Aw,
certainly
Boogly.
has seen its fair share of
Was it Boogly?
adaptations, some
Dang it, I
whimsical,
already forgot
some
his name.
dark, and while some liberties were taken, this extensive series does its darndest to fully encapsulate the various beasts and iconic characters found within the original text.
They got a
more
pack
than
of
happy
wolves.
to give him my recommendation.
It's certainly a niche little project, and the quality of the animation isn't the best, but shockingly enough, it's another project that more or less does justice to Mowgli.
Now listen, Mowgli. The first rule in the law of the jungle is the survival of the fittest.
Number 6, Poirot and Miss Marple. Agatha Christie's great detectives Poirot and Marple.
Wait, detectives. That got me thinking of Sherlock Holmes. So this is an actual movie or a TV show, but there's also an anime as well. Poirot and Miss Marple. Marple? I was about to say Marple. Let's just continue. Let's continue.
Apparently, the creators just couldn't stand the idea of two of the greatest fictional detectives of all time not crossing paths, so they decided to correct it with an anime that sees a young, ambitious girl and her pet duck trained to become a great detective under the
She
guidance
training
of
a duck
Poirot
to be a
and
detective?
Marple.
わかりました。
それではスタート。
You know how
See
hard
where
that
this
is
going?
to actually have a
In
duck
what
as a
essentially
detective. You're
becomes
just gonna be
Persona
quacking
4 the
along the way.
animation, classic literature edition, the fresh-faced Mabel is shoehorned into Agatha Christie's greatest works, while the titular icons are relegated to more background roles. It's not insulting by any means, but a tad underwhelming.
But the duck is adorable. I'm just gonna say that.
大丈夫です。他に重要な証拠が見つかりましたから。
Number 5, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Mutant Turtles, Superman Legend.
Superman Legend.
Haven't the turtles been through enough already?
Why they
Well,
looking like
feels
Wolverine?
the animated successor to that one time they teamed up with the Power Rangers.
the-
This
what?
mercifully short set of
Huh?
OVAs
Power
sees them
Rangers
gain the
team up
ability to
when they had a
further mutate
crossover.
into buff super turtles that look like they're out of some questionable dojin, who can then combine their powers to create a giant winged mecha.
When did he mention about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers? When did they have a crossover? Now I'm definitely gonna have to look into this anime.
Angel. Somehow. Seriously, between this and Hollywood, maybe these guys would be better off staying in the sewer. Things
What happened to New
clearly
York
going
City?
in their
Why is it
favor as of
flooded?
late.
さすがチャンネル6の情報網は抜群だ。
Number 4, Anne of Green Gables. Akage no Anne.
Why are the roads on the island so red, Mrs. Spencer?
How on earth should I know, Anne?
Given its status as one of the greatest children's books ever penned, it was
Like,
only
Anne,
a
we on
matter
a
of time
train.
before the
Please
tale of
answer
the
these.
orphan
I will
Anne
answer your
and her
questions
new
when we
life
get
in the
there.
Cuthbert household was adapted. The result, shockingly good across the board.
Up there in the tree, I would also have been safe from the wolves.
The entirety of the novel is adapted
She
across
seems
50
smart.
episodes, displaying in vivid detail Anne's journey from imaginative 11-year-old all the way to a young woman, and with all the troubles that come with it. It's staggeringly faithful to Lucy Maud Montgomery's timeless work, so much so that we're wholeheartedly recommending this one.
I don't mind. I like your chatter.
Oh, really?
Number 3, Highlander. Highlander, The Search for Vengeance. I mean, at least it's better than Highlander 2. Set in a dismal future where New York is submerged, the
This actually look really good.
Lloyd wanders the ruined land in search of his one true nemesis, seeking revenge for the murder of his beloved centuries prior.
Oh wow. Oh, this
While it
actually looks
seems
really
like a
good.
weird combination, the bloody action lends itself well to such classic anime tropes as a dystopian
Oh,
future
master,
filled with mecha,
you appeared up
absurd
unnoticed.
sword fights,
What's
and
wrong?
half-naked busty anime ladies. By itself, it's actually a lot of fun. Maybe the franchise wouldn't have such a sordid
Okay, even though he
reputation
mentioned that, I'm
if
still
this was
gonna
the
catch
only sequel
this
in its
anime.
canon.
But you'd have to be crazy to try it.
Show me.
I like the animations. They look really good.
10 seconds until impact.
This is the possible.
Oh no.
This is the challenge I need.
I don't like Ben 10 no more. Like, I didn't even watch the newest futuristic Ben 10 that they actually have. I watched Ben 10, Ben 10 Universe, and I think it was a third one. I even watched the movies back in the day. But this new Ben 10 is not the exact same as the first ever Ben 10 that was ever created within this time. This is like watching Gumball. I'm dead. Yo, like, I don't like how they do Ben 10. I don't like how they actually bring it back old TV shows and recreate it to what we see fit for the younger generations. It's just not the same as it was back then than it is now. And yet they recreate it into its own version. And all the characters look like, what was I about to actually go? Look like gummy bears. Yeah, that's a better reference to actually call them. Is that mainly of the characters in the TV shows that's premiering today look like gummy bears. I came to watch a TV show not to feel like I'm eating a snack or watching a snack. Literally, like, what made them come up with this idea?
Number 2, the Powerpuff Girls. Powerpuff
Oh.
Girls Z.
Oh,
Something's not right here.
Cartoon Network is
something's not right.
to
You see
anime,
this
but this is
thing
something
floating?
else entirely. It's essentially a retelling of the beloved cartoon. A mistake involving Chemical X accidentally creates the uber-powerful, super-cute trio of Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup, who together protect the citizens of Townsville. Wait, sorry, that's wrong.
What must be the fate that brought the three of us together?
Okay.
The perfect team!
We mean a mochi cake
Looking all
falls into the
stylish and
mixture,
everything.
creates Chemical Z, which in turn
We got
unleashes
Blossom, we
the
got
trio of Momoko,
Bubbles, we
Miyako,
got Buttercup.
and Kaoru, who gain the power to transform into superheroes, a la magical girl transformation
Wait,
sequences.
so they
It's
transform.
a peculiar take, that's for sure. Guess we should be thankful
So
they
do
didn't
they-
give them the panty and stocking treatment.
So do they actually have the abilities without transforming?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel.
I liked the Powerpuff Girls. Like, if they actually made a animated version, which is what we see now, that would have been pretty cool. Because I bet it have a little bit more story-based line. And I don't even actually remember what happened with the Powerpuff Girls. Like, how did that actually end? Like, I watched the Powerpuff Girls. I was a little kid. It was good. I liked it, the whole theory that the professor made these three little girls in his laboratory. He raised them past his own. They went to school, had a normal day, like lived a normal life. But yet there was evil within the city that he was in, and yet these little girls had special abilities and they fought evil every now and then, and still attended school. And they had a direct hotline to the mayor. Like, you don't get no better than that. So, I just don't understand what happened with the Powerpuff Girls and how that actually ended. But it's pretty cool, though. And then the another thing is that what he said was that the anime version is that they are transforming. So, within the TV version that was premiering on Cartoon Network, used to just have them already in their formation, I guess, or whatever. Like, they already had their abilities, their strength. Not only that, they never really mentioned their weakness. So, but I think they actually had one. But in this anime version, they transform. So, that's pretty cool. Because they look like they're teenagers. The original version of the Powerpuff Girls, they was already little kids. That's crazy.
Channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, The Diary of Anne Frank.
The
Anne
Diary of
Frank.
Anne Frank.
Why don't we have an expert solve it? Miss Frank?
That's right, they
Ah.
went there. Seems studios back in the day were all
Never
too
seen
eager
Diary
to
of
adapt
Anne Frank.
stories involving brave figures named Anne. Only this one comes with substantial
This one's a little more
baggage.
formal.
Can we call this a terrible adaptation? No, not particularly.
I thought you might like this autumn leaf as a present.
Madhouse's animation.
Oh, well,
lends
thank
itself
you.
well enough, and the
An
film
autumn
does
leaf.
put its best foot
Oh,
forward
that's
when
so
telling the
kind of you.
story
You shouldn't
Anne's
have.
time in the attic, her various relationships, and her ultimate fate. There are a few pitfalls here and there with the pacing and missing content, but at the
Diary
very
of Anne
least, it
Frank.
handles such a painful and important matter with dignity.
calm down. It was a nightmare. It's all right now.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Watch Mojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified.
So it was some really good videos, a lot of different content videos that I wasn't even surprised that they would or wouldn't have. Even though I've been watching anime, I haven't watched anime deeply. Like, I haven't hit the center of anime. I haven't hit the core of where anime lies at, where it's more, I was going for the word astronomical in a way of a sense. It's just that with anime, it's a lot of different origins, so it's beyond my expectations, and it can be mind blowing depending on how far you go within your search. And this right here is like, I should have known. I should have known that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had an anime, and yet I have not looked or decided to even look it up for myself. And now I got a video that tells me that there actually is one. And then another one that actually caught my attention was Highlander. And the thing is, I never actually watched Highlander. I didn't even know it was a thing called Highlander. So that's how you know my research has not gone any further than that. And some other animes that actually was like surprising me as well though too. Powerpuff Girls, okay. Lilo Stitch, oh man. I'm gonna feel upset just a little bit because I know Lilo's living a good life, Stitch is living a good life, as you can see, and whatnot. And then it's like Supernatural. I don't know which one's gonna have like more of my attention, the anime version or the TV version. But other than that, they all sound so good, and yeah, I cannot wait to watch it because I'm gonna actually get a chance to watch these on my spare time when I actually do so, because I would like to know what's the difference between actually two, because I know they may be performed differently, and as you can see, they all look differently from the actual ones that's been created before their time, before these times of these shows coming out and being broadcasted. So it's like we are on a good path with a lot of different things to keep us busy. And this is pretty much it for the video. For anybody that actually want to link of the description and watch the original video, the link will be down below in the description. Once again, I said that twice. This is called Top 10 Weirdest Things to Ever Get Tuned into Anime. This is SunjuKris. I will see you guys in the next video.